Did BCCI President Sourav Ganguly drop a hint on Rohit Sharma's future as captain of India? Board of Control for Cricket in India President Sourav Ganguly on Wednesday said Rohit Sharma should be given some time to produce results. Rohit will lead the Indian team in the upcoming Asia Cup, followed by the T20 World Cup in October in Australia. According to Ganguly, Rohit is a laid-back captain unlike MS Dhoni and Virat Kohli, but he is not in favour of any comparison between the three. With workload management, COVID and injury concerns, India captaincy has become a merry-go-round with as many as 7 players to have led the side after the 35-year-old took over from Virat Kohli as full-time skipper across formats. But Ganguly was impressed with the Mumbaiker, who has won a record 5 Indian Premier League titles for Mumbai Indians, and said he should be given a longer rope before being compared with the likes of legendary Dhoni and Kohli.
No, I think every individual is different. Every individual has different ways of leadership. When I became captain in 2000, India needed different dynamics.
Yes.
The world cricket was different, the stage was different, and I had to captain the side differently. We continued to become better after that. The systems changed in this country, then came IPL, which probably turned the cricket ecosystem around all over the world, and it continues to keep growing. Now I look IPL from a different side, from a president's point of view. From a BCCI President point of view, so I look at it from the other side and not from the point of a player. So I would probably do it differently now than when I did. But I think India has produced some great captains over the years. MS Dhoni, who handled the transition fantastically and continued to bring accolades not for India but for his franchise, the Chennai Super Kings. Then came Virat Kohli, who's also got a fantastic record as captain. He was a different sort of a captain. He did things differently, and now Rohit Sharma, who's obviously somebody who's a bit laid back and who takes things in a very calm and cautious way, and is not someone who's into your face all the time. So every individual is different. At the end of the day, what matters is the results. It's what you do with your team and how many wins and losses you have against your name. So that's the way it is. So I don't compare captains of different generations. I don't think captains have to adapt to different generations, because everybody has his own way of leadership. And when you give somebody responsibility, and I say that to a lot of people in this room, and I say that to a lot of people who I work with, when you give responsibility to somebody, let him do it. We give responsibility to someone and then want him to do the things the way we want it. And I think that's not correct. So when you back someone, let him captain, give him a bit of time to give you results, and then see what happens. So I don't generalize leadership over a period of time. It changes with time, it changes with generation, it changes with situation, it changes with what team you have, how you marshal the sides you work with. So it's very difficult to compare generations. But as I said, every individual is different, and every individual will play, will lead, will do things differently.
Sourav also elaborated on what is so common between Dhoni, Virat and Rohit, and why he reckons they have been successful.
सर्टन क्वालिटीज़ बहुत कॉमन होते हैं. एक तो अच्छे लीडर में डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर बहुत होता है. वो किसी चीज़ को बात के लिए छोड़ते नहीं है. देखिए, हर चीज़ में रिस्क होता है. यू विल बी सक्सेसफुल इन सम, यू वोंट बी. बट जो अच्छे लीडर होते हैं वो इतना दूर सोचते नहीं हैं. वो डिसीजन लेते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं. ये एक चीज़ है. आई हैव सीन विद लीडर्स, दे आर डिसाइसिव. सेकेंडली दे आर fearless. They are fearless, and I've seen leaders get into tough situations. You imagine India chasing 325, and you have to score at 6 or 7 and over, and you walk into bat and you have to execute that. I think that talks about courage. That talks about guts. Look at MS Dhoni when he hit that 6 to win the World Cup final. India had won the game. There's no question of India losing that game from there, but it just spoke about his state of mind in a World Cup final. India at that game was stuck when he walked in at number 4 and went on to get a 90 and win it. So as a leader, he took the decision to walk in under pressure. So as a leader, you have to face things up front. If you want that dressing room, if you want your team, if you want your the troop of militaries to have confidence in you, to have faith in you, You have to stand up in the forefront and not lead from behind. I think that's very, very important. It's about facing the brunt from the front. So I think they are decisive, they are fearless, they are much ahead of time. And I think they think ahead of the time as leaders. They say in cricket, a captain must be ahead of the game. You see the game 10-15 years, 10-15 overs ahead than what the normal teammates think. So they have a lot of qualities, and most importantly, you have the skill. You need to have the skill, because only when you have the skill and only when you score runs, then you're respected by the people who you play around. Because just by talking or just by making statements, it does not make you a leader. It's about how you execute it. So I think all these skills need to be there, and I think at that level, when you reach and you're asked to lead a nation, you must be having those skills, because of which you get that job.
Extra time! Extra time!